If you've ever been told that your chronic pain is just something you have to live with, this video is for you. If you've tried what feels like everything, the therapies, the pills, the promises, and you're left feeling more frustrated and skeptical than ever, then I want you to know, I see you. We are not going to talk about a miracle cure today. We're not going to discuss some one weird trick that will magically erase years of discomfort. Honestly, you've probably heard enough of that. Instead, we're going to have a different kind of conversation. We're going to explore a science-backed understanding of why persistent pain feels the way it does. And I'm going to guide you through one single, gentle, seated movement. But this movement has a very specific purpose. It's not about stretching a sore muscle. It's not about building strength. It's about starting a new conversation between your mind and your body. It's about sending a message of safety to your brain to begin the process of dialing down its overactive pain signals. If you've ever felt that your pain has put your life on hold, that it has stolen your joy in gardening, walking, or simply playing with your grandkids, stick with me. Because today isn't about a false promise. It's about giving you a small, powerful tool to begin reclaiming a sense of control. Before we dive in, it's very important to state this clearly. I am not a doctor, and this video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or another qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. The approach we're discussing today is a powerful complement to, not a replacement for, your medical care. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. For so many of us, especially as we get older, living with pain becomes a part of our identity. It dictates our schedules. A good day or a bad day determines whether we can meet friends for lunch or have to cancel yet again, carrying that heavy weight of guilt and frustration. You might have a diagnosis like arthritis or fibromyalgia, or you might have what doctors call nonspecific musculoskeletal pain, that deep, persistent ache in your lower back or hips that no one can seem to pinpoint on an X-ray or an MRI. You go through rounds of physical therapy that help a little, but the pain always returns. You try medications that either don't work or come with side effects that make you feel even worse. And maybe, just maybe, you've had a doctor, perhaps with the best of intentions, imply that this is just a normal part of aging you need to accept. That feeling of being dismissed, of not being truly heard, can be just as painful as the physical sensation itself. You start to believe it. You start to believe your body is broken, that it has failed you. And here's the most difficult part. Out of a very logical desire to protect yourself, you start to fear movement. You worry that bending down to pick something up will cause a flare-up. You avoid that evening walk because you're scared of how you'll feel tomorrow. This fear, which has a clinical name, kinesiophobia, is incredibly common. Research has shown it's a major predictor of disability because it creates a downward spiral. We avoid movement, so our muscles get weaker. That weakness puts more strain on our joints, which can create more pain. And that pain reinforces our belief that movement is dangerous. It's a vicious, exhausting cycle. But what if the root of that cycle isn't in your back, or your hip, or your knee? What if the primary issue is no longer in the tissues of your body, but in the very system that's supposed to protect you? This brings us to the most important concept we will discuss today, the idea of the overprotective brain. Think about the last time you had an acute injury, like when you stubbed your toe or touched a hot stove. The nerves in that area sent an immediate, clear signal to your brain. Danger. Damage here. Your brain instantly created the sensation of pain to get your attention and make you pull back. That's pain working perfectly. It's a brilliant alarm system designed to protect you from harm. But in many cases of chronic pain, something different happens. The original injury may have healed long ago, or perhaps there was never a clear injury to begin with. Yet the pain persists. This is often because the nervous system itself has changed. Scientists at institutions like the University of Wisconsin have studied this phenomenon extensively, calling it central sensitization. The best way to understand this is with an analogy. Imagine your body's alarm system is like a car alarm. Normally, it only goes off if someone is actually trying to break into the car. But what if the alarm became faulty and hypersensitive? Suddenly, a leaf falling on the windshield sets it off. A gust of wind sets it off. A cat walking by sets it off. The alarm is blaring, but there's no actual threat to the car. This is what can happen in your nervous system. Through a process called maladaptive neuroplasticity, your brain and spinal cord can become incredibly efficient at creating pain. The volume on your pain system gets turned up to a 10, and it gets stuck there. Your nervous system becomes so hypervigilant, so overprotective, that it starts to interpret normal, non-threatening signals, like the pressure from sitting in a chair, a change in the weather, or even the stress of a difficult day, as danger signals, and it responds by creating the very real sensation of pain. This is the most critical part to understand. This pain is not imaginary. It is not all in your head in the dismissive way that phrase is often used. The pain is 100% real. Your brain is creating a real sensation. The difference is that the sensation is no longer an accurate indicator of tissue damage in your body. It's a learned signal, a false alarm from an overprotective system. And this reframes everything. The problem shifts from my back is broken to my brain is trying too hard to protect me. This is not your fault. It is a known biological process that can happen to anyone. It's a survival mechanism that has gone into overdrive. The incredible news hidden within this understanding is that neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change, works both ways. What the brain has learned, it can often begin to unlearn. This brings us to a fascinating and sometimes controversial area of pain science. A few years ago, a groundbreaking study was published in the journal JAMA Psychiatry that sent waves through the medical community. The study looked at a treatment called pain reprocessing therapy, or PRT, which is built entirely on this principle of retraining the brain. The results were stunning. After the therapy, 2/3 of the participants with chronic back pain were pain-free or nearly pain-free. Now it is crucial to approach this with a healthy dose of Helen's skepticism. Critics of the study pointed out potential conflicts of interest, and many in the pain management world argue that results that dramatic are almost too good to be true for most people. And they have a point. There is no single approach that works like a magic wand for everyone. The human experience of pain is far too complex for that. However, we shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. What that study powerfully demonstrates is the incredible potential we have to change our experience of pain by changing the messages we send to our brain. The core of that therapy, the very first step, is about learning to relate to physical sensations differently. It's about breaking the automatic link between a sensation in your body and a fear-based reaction in your mind. It's about teaching your brain through direct experience that a sensation is just a sensation, not necessarily a signal of danger. And that is exactly what we're going to practice today. We're going to do this using a technique called somatic tracking. Soma is the Greek word for body, so this is simply body tracking. It sounds fancy, but it is the simplest thing in the world. It means paying attention to a physical sensation on purpose, but with a specific quality of attention, one of curiosity and safety. rather than one of fear and analysis. For a moment, think about what you normally do when you feel that familiar ache in your back or your hip. If you're like most people, your mind immediately jumps in. Oh no, it's back. Is it getting worse? What did I do to cause this? I better not move too much, or I'll really pay for it tomorrow. Your muscles might tense up around the area automatically, bracing for impact. Your breathing might become shallow. This reaction is completely understandable, but it pours gasoline on the fire. It sends a massive danger signal straight to your overprotective brain, confirming its belief that the sensation is a threat and keeping that car alarm screaming. Somatic tracking is the exact opposite of this. It's a gentle intervention. The goal is not to make the pain go away in that moment. The goal is to observe the sensation from a place of neutrality, to look at it with the detached curiosity of a scientist observing a weather pattern. Huh, that's interesting. It feels sharp right there, but dull over here. It seems to move a little when I breathe. It's not a solid block of pain, but a collection of different sensations. By doing this, you are defusing the bomb. You are unlinking the raw sensation from the story of fear and catastrophe that your mind has learned to attach to it. You are, in essence, creating a corrective experience. You're showing the brain, hey, I can feel this sensation, and I am safe. The alarm is not necessary. And the movement we are about to do is simply a vehicle for this practice. The movement itself is not the therapy. The way you pay attention during the movement is the therapy. So let's try this together. Please find a comfortable, stable chair where your feet can rest flat on the floor. A dining chair or an office chair without wheels is perfect. Sit up comfortably, but don't be rigid. Let your shoulders relax down, away from your ears. Let your hands rest gently in your lap. Now, before we even begin to move, I want you to just take one slow, easy breath in through your nose and a long, slow sigh out through your mouth, just to signal to your nervous system that you are in a safe place. You are in control. All right, let's begin. Keeping your hips and your legs still, I want you to begin to slowly, and I mean very slowly, turn your upper body to the right, as if you're going to look over your right shoulder. I want you to go only as far as feels easy and comfortable. Maybe that's just a tiny inch of movement. Maybe it's a bit more. It does not matter how far you go. This is not a competition. As you turn, I want you to bring all of your attention to the sensations in your back and your torso. Just notice what you feel. Can you feel a gentle pulling sensation on one side? A sense of compression on the other? Just be a curious observer. There is no right or wrong way to feel. If you feel a familiar ache, instead of tensing up against it, can you just mentally nod at it? Okay, there's that sensation. Breathe into it with a sense of softness. Now, hold that gentle twist for a moment, and as you hold it, I want you to silently say to yourself, I am safe feeling this. Just a simple message of safety. Now, just as slowly, begin to unwind, returning back to the center. Pause here for a moment. Just notice any after effects. Does anything feel different? Again, no judgment, just observation. Now let's do the other side. Slowly, gently, begin to turn your upper body to the left, only to the point of ease. As you turn, bring that same curious, scientific attention to the sensations. Where do you feel it? Is it sharp, dull, tingly, warm? Is it a large area or a specific point? Whatever you find, it's just information. It's not good or bad. It's just a sensation. As you hold this gentle twist, once again, send that message of safety to your brain. You can even think of it as reassuring a worried child. It's okay. We are safe. Now slowly unwind and come back to your starting position, facing forward. Let's take one more easy breath together. In and out. That's it. That's the entire exercise. You just completed a session of somatic tracking. So what just happened? Why can something so simple be so powerful? Let's connect the dots back to the science. You just gave your overprotective brain a powerful piece of new, conflicting evidence. For weeks, months, or even years, your brain may have operated on the belief that any sensation in your back, especially one associated with twisting or movement, is a sign of danger that requires a loud pain alarm. In that 2-minute exercise, you intentionally created a mild sensation in that very area, but you paired it with a completely different mental state. Instead of reacting with fear, bracing, and catastrophic thinking, you responded with curiosity, calm breathing, and explicit messages of safety. You showed your brain, through direct experience, that it was a false alarm. You moved, you felt a sensation, and you were completely safe. Nothing bad happened. This is called creating a corrective experience. Now, is doing this one time going to rewire your brain completely? Of course not. Think of it like learning a new language. You can't become fluent by studying for one afternoon. It takes consistent practice. In the same way, retraining your brain's pain pathways is a process. It requires repetition. By practicing the simple, safe movement and mindful observation for a few minutes each day, you are consistently feeding your brain new data. You are creating and strengthening new neural pathways, pathways that associate movement with safety instead of danger. Over time, with patience and consistency, this practice can help to dial down the sensitivity of the entire nervous system. It can help turn the volume down on that hypersensitive car alarm. You are showing your brain again and again that most sensations are just neutral information, not threats. This process helps to build what experts call somatic trust, a renewed faith in your body's resilience and a decreased fear of its signals. It's a gradual return to feeling at home in your own body, moving with more confidence and less fear. This isn't a passive process where you wait for a cure. It's an active process where you become a participant in your own healing, one gentle, mindful movement at a time. It is so important to see this practice for what it is, a powerful starting point. This single-seated movement is a fundamental tool you can put in your toolbox starting today. It's a way to begin the process of calming your nervous system and changing your relationship with pain. But it's most effective when it's seen as one part of a larger, multi-pronged approach to well-being. Think of it as the first step on a new path, a path where you are in the driver's seat. What are the other steps on this path? They can include working with a physical therapist who understands pain science and can help you gradually and safely reintroduce more movement into your life. It can include simple stress management techniques, because we know from countless studies at institutions like the National Institutes of Health that stress and anxiety pour fuel on the fire of chronic pain. This could be as simple as deep breathing, spending time in nature, or listening to calming music. It also includes prioritizing sleep, which is when our brain and body do their most important repair work. The key takeaway is that you are not powerless. While there may not be a single magic cure, there are numerous small, manageable steps you can take to influence your pain. You have the power to stop the downward spiral of fear and avoidance and begin an upward spiral of confidence and re-engagement. This gentle seated practice is your first, safe, accessible step on that journey. A journey back to a life that isn't defined by pain, but is once again filled with possibility. So let's quickly recap the incredible ground we've covered. We've shifted our understanding of chronic pain away from the idea of a permanently broken body part to the science-backed concept of an overprotective, hypersensitive nervous system. We learned that this pain is very real, but it's often a false alarm that the brain has learned to generate. Most importantly, we've learned that because the brain can learn this pattern, it can also begin to unlearn it. You now have a tangible, practical tool, somatic tracking through a gentle, seated movement, to begin this process. This isn't about forcing or fixing, it's about observing with curiosity and sending powerful messages of safety to your brain. This simple practice is your first step in creating corrective experiences that, over time, can help dial down the pain signals and rebuild trust in your body. You have taken a huge step today just by watching and learning this. You've armed yourself with knowledge and a new perspective, which is the foundation of reclaiming control. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which part of this discussion was the biggest aha moment for you? Was it the car alarm analogy? The idea of sending messages of safety? Or maybe just the feeling of validation at the beginning? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Reading through the experiences of others can be incredibly powerful and helps us all feel less alone on this journey. And if you found this conversation helpful and want more in-depth content designed to empower you on your health journey, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the little notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember to be patient and kind with yourself. This is a practice, not a performance. Be well, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.